Let's turn now to some business news and bouncing back to a more optimistic outlook. Renewed hopes that a US stimulus package would be passed in the near future lifted Wall Street overnight. The Dow Jones was up, as you can see there, 0.4%. The S&P 500 up almost half of 1 percentage point, and the tech-heavy Nasdaq still in the green there. As you can see, it's up 0.3%. This despite the wobbles in the tech sector. Shares of Google parent company Alphabet did rise despite that antitrust lawsuit. Netflix, however, has been reporting some disappointing earnings, sending its shares sliding. But following the overall trend on Wall Street, let's take a look at how shares on the main Asian indexes are faring. As you can see, overall, it's green. In Tokyo, shares opening higher there, up almost half a percentage point. The Hang Seng in Nikkei doing just slightly better, up over 0.5%. The only one currently in the red is the Shanghai Composite, dipping below the flat line, 0.3%. Well, let's cross to market analyst at FXTM, Han Tan, to discuss it all more. Han, firstly, these US stimulus talks, they continue this Wednesday, but it looks like the market is feeling pretty positive about it all.
Yeah, look, markets are willing to hold on to any sliver of hope that we could see a pre-election stimulus package. And to be honest, if we get it over the coming days, I think there'll be a positive surprise for equities. Personally, I think those chances are still pretty slim, despite the latest comments that we heard overnight. And markets could still be in for a major disappointment. I think the likelier deal would come after we get to the other side of the U.S. elections. So I think, in short, investors are taking comfort from the notion that they will see more fiscal stimulus. It's just now a matter of when and how the headline value of the overall package shapes up.
Meanwhile, Han, how is the tech sector looking? I'm thinking, of course, of the potential impact of lawsuits against some major companies.
Yeah, I mean, looking at tech stocks, investors seem willing to ignore such headlines for now. I mean, well, to be fair, they had been expecting this for months now. But if you look at shares in Google and Apple, they boasted gains of over 1.3% overnight. Facebook gained by over 2%. And keep in mind, if we look forward as well, big tech won't take this lying down. They've been spending a lot of money and getting a lot of muscle trying to offset some of these accusations here. So they're hunkering down for the long fight. To be clear, this puts a major risk over big tech moving forward, given the murmurs that some of these companies might be broken up. But at least markets know that this won't be settled overnight. And there's likely more upside to be had for shareholders between now and when the case is over, whenever or whatever the conclusion might be.
Han Tan of FXTM, thanks indeed for joining us and bringing us your analysis. Well, as Han mentioned there, the move against Google follow months of inquiries by both federal and state antitrust investigators. It comes amid similar probes into other tech giants like Amazon, Facebook and Apple. The lawsuit is a rare moment of agreement between Republicans, who often accuse Silicon Valley of anti-conservative bias, and progressive Democrats, who complain that tech giants stifle competition and exacerbate inequality. Analysts have been saying it is just the beginning of a major confrontation between Washington and the tech industry.
I think this is a serious step up in the move on the antitrust front, as we've seen the Beltway versus big tech, and the DOJ throwing their hat in the ring definitely, I think steps this up from a, risk profile. I think investors right now, it's a bit wait and see, but this is sort of, I think, the first step of what we're going to see are broader pressures against big tech with Google front and center.